everyone, it's Emma, and today I have a friend with me.
Hello!
This is Jessie the reader. Today I thought we would talk about manga, because we both like manga. And
love manga.
Love manga.
Or I guess.
Yeah! We buddy read a lot of manga together.
Yeah.
So I figured we would make a video talking about manga in general, our favorite manga, the first ones we read, have a little chitty chat about manga. First of all, how did you get into manga?
I think I first discovered it in high school, actually.
Oh.
I think that I'd seen people around the school reading manga. I actually had some art friends who were really against manga for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason they were against the style. They kind of made fun of it in a weird way, which is awful.
Don't make fun of manga.
That kind of discouraged me from reading it at first. And I actually discovered anime on my own first, kind of. I would watch Inuyasha late at night on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network. It was college, my freshman year, when I first picked up manga, and it was Fruits Basket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I read that series and I loved it. From that, I found Bakuman, and that was the series that I think really hooked me on manga, because that series, it's not only a story, it's educational.
Yeah.
So you're learning about the manga world while also getting that entertaining story, and I really liked that about it, and it made me want to read more manga, and it made me appreciate manga a lot, because you see all the hard work that goes into it. What about you? What was your first intro into manga?
I was going to say I started watching anime first, but it was actually manga, and I'm pretty sure, well, I know the first one that I read was Orange, and I'm pretty sure it was because you mentioned it in one of your videos.
Hey!
My brother also reads manga,
Right.
so I knew what it was.
We're aware of it growing up and stuff.
But I specifically remember you saying about Orange that it was really emotional, and you were like, why am I getting so attached to these characters?
Yeah.
And because I'm such a character-driven reader, I was like, all right, I gotta try this. Then I got more into anime, and then I found Haikyuu. I watched all the seasons of Haikyuu that exist, so I figured I would pick up the manga, and then it just went from there. I think we both actually answered this one in our how we got into manga, but the first manga that we read.
Mine was Fruits Basket, but I don't really consider it my first manga for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I love that series, but Bakuman is what really won me over, I feel like. What about you?
Mine was Orange. It was the same. Bakuman was when I started reading manga really consistently. And because you're learning about how manga works and how it's published, it just made me want to read more manga.
Yeah.
So, but technically Orange was the first one. Next, all-time favorite manga.
This is so hard. I love all the manga. Look at your shelf, because we have a pretty similar collection. Okay, so I'm going to say read and unread. Okay. So my favorite series that I have completed is Orange. Hands down. So good, so emotional. And then my favorite currently that I'm still in the middle of, I think it's Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely been some volumes that I haven't diehard loved, but all the other great moments really overpower the kind of boring moments.
I'll do my favorite finished and unfinished too. So my favorite finished one is the one I just forgot the name of.
A Silent Voice?
Yeah.
Figured.
Completed is A Silent Voice. It was the first manga that I ever binge read. I read 3 of those volumes in a day because I just couldn't stop reading it. And it's a pretty short series too, so that's why I finished it. And then my favorite that I haven't finished is also Tokyo Ghoul. So good.
So good. I feel like we've weirdly been reading Tokyo Ghoul together, even though we're not reading it together.
Yeah.
I'm either a volume ahead of you or you're a volume ahead of me.
We were reading it at the same time, and we didn't plan to buddy read it, but then we just ended up talking about it. Do you have a favorite manga character? Or anime character?
Well, we can do both. Right?
Okay,
let's do manga and anime. So my favorite manga character, help me out with the pronunciation, Kaneki?
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 I think it's Kaneki.
I have a hard time pronouncing names when it comes to manga and anime. She helps me out a lot. But yeah, he's my favorite character. His development throughout the series is just so interesting to watch, because he goes through so many things. Well, I guess I can't say because spoilers.
Spoilers.
Well, the premise of the story is that he turns into a ghoul, so that's one of the things that he goes through, and that's really interesting to see him going from human to half ghoul, and then he goes through a lot of other transitions throughout the series, which I won't say, but it's just so interesting seeing him adapt to this world that he's never been familiar with at all. He's only feared ghouls, and so to see him kind of have to be part ghoul is just so fascinating. My favorite anime character is
Hinata.
Hinata
From Haikyuu.
Yeah. I'm not finished with that series, but I just really like his character a lot.
He's a good one.
Yeah, He brings a nice energy to the story. I just love that anime because it's all about like friendship and it just makes me happy.
He goes through a development, but it's completely different than Kaneki, where it's like intense and dark. Hinata, it's like you get to see him working really hard. I mean, you get to see more later if you finish the anime.
Yes. Actually, I just thought of another anime, Erased.
Yeah.
I really like the main character in that story.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched it, but I really like that main character.
For the sake of having a different favorite manga character, I'm going to say L from Death Note.
Okay.
Because he's so interesting.
He is so
and you like don't know anything about his personal life at all.
Yeah.
And he's so mysterious, but he's such like an interesting person. Like that genius type where you get to see his thought process.
We always talk about how we really want to see like a prequel series with him. Because we know nothing about him, so we want to learn more about him.
Like, how did he start working with the police?
We need to know.
And then my favorite anime character, I think I'm getting his name right. It's the guy from the My Hero Academia anime where his hair is half red, half white. I think his name is Todoroki. I've been watching that anime a lot recently. He's a favorite. Just his whole backstory, which I can't talk about because Jesse hasn't gotten there yet.
I was going to say, have I even like learned about this character yet?
You've probably seen him. You haven't really gotten to know him.
Right.
Yeah. He's just a really complex character.
Those are always the best characters.
Yeah. What is your go-to recommendation for people who do not read manga? Like the first one that they should start with, or an easy one.
I know we've talked about this a lot already, but I would either say Bakuman because you just learn so much about manga, and it's not boring at all. It's super interesting. They're not only teaching you about manga throughout the series, you're also learning about the characters and the things that they're going through and all their complicated relationships and stuff like that. But if you don't want to read that one, I would recommend Orange, because it just hooks you from the start. You'll be obsessed with it, I promise.
And it's an easy one too. Like the blocking or whatever you call it isn't too small.
It's not intimidating because there's only the 2 volumes.
Yeah.
With some manga, they're like so long.
There's 41 volumes.
I remember when I first was getting into manga, like I was so overwhelmed because there's so much out there.
Orange is also another one that I recommend a lot, but I'm also gonna say Kimi ni Todoki. I forget what the like technical term for this is, but like the cutesy school manga.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Shoujo. That one's a good manga or anime to start with. The characters really draw you in, and it's funny, and it's cute. It's like the best of all worlds. Favorite manga creator? Like, who does the art style and the story and stuff?
Okay. It's the creator of Bakuman and Death Note, and the reason that I find them to be my favorite creators, I think it's a team, or these 2 guys or something. But what I really like about them is that they have both the Bakuman series and they have the Death Note series, and they're so different.
Yeah.
Just complete opposites.
Like complete opposites,
and I just really like that. I like that they don't stick to one thing and they're very like varied in what they put out.
But they still have they have a specific art style.
Like you see their art style, you're like, okay,
and you're like,
I know that is.
That's the same. But the storylines and the mood and the tone
are completely different. So different. What about you? Favorite like manga artist?
I'm gonna say the guy who did Tokyo Ghoul, just because I love that art so much. Like, especially the pages they put in the beginning of every volume and the covers. And I love that it's like almost watercolor and the story itself is so violent and like harsh. Yeah. For some reason, that juxtaposition I just really like. Okay, let's do a couple anime questions. First anime you ever watched?
Inuyasha. I was trying to like explain it to Emma the other day and I could not explain it. I was like, it's kind of like this cat guy that has long white hair, prances around and kills monsters. But I used to watch that in high school when I couldn't sleep at night. I would just turn that on and watch it. It's not an anime that I would necessarily recommend because it is such a huge series. I also am just not like die hard in love with it. So
cool. My first anime was Yuri on Ice. I feel like that is really typical. I feel like that's really typical for like girls to get into anime from Yuri on Ice. But I really did start watching it because I saw GIFs of the ice skating and I thought that it was so beautiful because I was a dancer and ice skating is so similar to ballet. I just saw like the gracefulness. So graceful. So graceful. And then I got obsessed and then I switched to Haikyuu and then it went from there. Ooh. Favorite anime?
Erased! It's so good! I convinced Emma to watch it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Oh my gosh, I want to rewatch it too. Basically, how to explain it, this boy has a friend that has something tragic happen to her, and later in the future he gets the opportunity to go back and prevent that problem from happening. You just get really invested in the story.
Mm-hmm. Erased is like a thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so trigger warnings for that, especially like kidnapping, child abuse, child neglect, and child abuse.
Yeah. And what was yours?
This one's really hard because I kind of feel like I have to say Haikyuu, but I haven't watched Haikyuu in a really long time.
I feel like yours is my hero now.
I feel like you're right.
I know, it's like weird to say, it's like, but you're so new to My Hero still, so, but you like love it. I feel like you talk about it all the time.
I do. So. I think My Hero is my new favorite.
Your favorite.
I'm sorry, Haikyuu.
Like you're having like a hard time saying like,
I am.
It's my favorite. Like betraying Haikyuu. So I have a question. Why do you think not a lot of booktubers read manga? Because I feel like there's not a lot of us in the community that like read manga.
Yeah.
And do you think it's just because like it's intimidating? Manga's just not for everyone? That kind of thing. Could also be that it's like costly.
It is,
and, you know, manga goes by like that if you just sit down and read it.
It's like $10 for a volume, and Tokyo Ghoul has 14 volumes. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
I think part of it is just that because not a lot of people talk about it, you don't hear about it as much. So, like, how do you find out where to start? Or how do you find out, like, which ones are the good ones? Like, I get that question a lot on my videos. Yeah. People message me all the time asking what's a good manga to start with. Yeah. Just because it is kind of this other world that is hard to get into. Right. I also think there's kind of, like, an association with manga that is being broken now, but there is this assumption that either it's like really racy or it's like just something that uber nerds do. Yeah, I agree with that. Because that was like what the norm used to be for manga, but the times have changed. Times have changed, guys. Do you have any reasons that you think booktubers don't read it as much? Big part of it was probably the costly thing, because like I think people look at it as a waste of money. They can't read it so quickly, it's like, why would I spend my money on that? Because I get through it so fast. But the library's a great place. Those are all the questions that we're going to talk about today. Hopefully we helped you find some manga through this video. Yeah. Even though we're still kind of manga noobs. We are. Disclaimer. Let me know down in the comments if you do read manga. What is like your go-to recommendation or your favorite? And if you don't read manga, let us know what is holding you back. Let us know down below in the comments. I hope you have a lovely day or night or afternoon wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Fascinating. Or the one that you shank. Or the one you shank. Don't make me sound dumb, Emma. And today, I have a friend with me. Hey. We can do that again. How do I get out of frame? Am I in frame? Hello. Welcome to the Jesse Show. Today we're going to be talking about water. Water is so good for you. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling low, you probably need some water. You probably need some books too, because books are good. They make you feel good. So, that's the end of the Jesse Show. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Drink water.